Hey everybody, it is the 19th? Yeah, it's the 19th. Holy crap, that took me way too much brain power. Ooh. I just finished editing last week's vlog. You can see just how messy my desk is and everything around it. You know, this seemed like a good background when I started. But anyway, I realized I hadn't started this week's vlog, so I should do that and talk about books and such, because that's what I do in these. I finished Leviathan Wakes, and last week I did a terrible job trying to explain Leviathan Wakes, but fortunately for you, the footage, like the audio was out of sync and none of it was usable, so you didn't have to sit through that. I think the reason I had trouble explaining it is because it's a space opera, right? And it has all the things you expect from a space opera. It has the great cast of character, it has the political intrigue, it's got the romance, it's got the humor, it's got all the things that you expect from a space opera. And if you know you like space operas, then that's probably all I need to tell you about the book. It is a really good space opera. My only gripe about it that I can think of, it had a tendency to over-explain certain things, particularly with the character of Miller. He had some psychological issues, and sometimes they were just like hitting you over the head, being like, this is what his brain is doing now, and I'm just like, you could have pulled that back a little bit and done it a little bit more subtly, and I think it would have been more effective. But other than that, I mean, that's like the most insignificant gripe that I can think of. I really, really enjoyed this book, and I want to continue with the series, like, yesterday. Ow, kitty! Ow, kitty! He's been a butt today. So after I finished that, I started the audiobook for Storm of Swords, which is book 3 in A Song of Ice and Fire. Last Tome Topple I listened to A Clash of Kings, so I feel like that's just gonna be my routine. I listen to another one of these ginormous books every time a Tome Topple comes around. I am enjoying going through those books and seeing the differences between the books and the show. I've watched all of what's out on the show, and I don't think, had I not had the context of all of the characters from the show, that I would be able to go through this series on audiobook. I think I would be too confused. I think I would have had to sit down and read them physically to kind of grasp each character and all of the different branching paths and all of the different perspectives that you deal with in this book. I don't think I would have been able to fully absorb that just listening to the audiobook. But since I already have all that context, I have all of those characters in my noggin, I can listen to the audiobook while I'm at work, which is fantastic. That's my favorite thing to do because it makes the workday go by so much faster. So that's where I am audiobook wise. As far as physical reads, I haven't made any more progress on As You Wish. I put that one down. I think I'm going to wait until after Tome Topple to pick it up again, just because I really want to focus on these longer books. I did, however, finish The Subtle Art, and I really liked that one. I mean, it was really funny at the beginning, and then it became less about being funny and more about just giving really good advice. But it was the kind of advice that I think, even though everybody knows, people constantly have to be reminded of, because it's so much about how we prioritize things and the stupid ways that we as humans like psychologically deal with things. It's one of those that I want to get a hold of a physical copy, like I read it on ebook. I want to get a hold of a physical copy and like go through and like mark up and write notes in and stuff like that. So I got a lot more out of that book than I expected. And then as far as the Poppy War goes, I've made it to chapter 5. We're starting to get just a little bit of fantasy elements in there. There's definitely some indication that some of the other students at the school are perhaps a little bit more than normal. So we'll see how that progresses. Right now, there's a lot of unlikable characters. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a character that purely exists to just be not liked. I want them to have more depth than that. I want there to be a reason why they're in the book and we're spending so much time with them. Because if it's just to make our protagonist feel lousy all the time, I don't feel like that's worth it. I feel like there's other ways to make your protagonist feel lousy without just wasting time on unlikable characters. That's where I am on all of that. I'm gonna go ahead and upload last week's vlog and maybe like try to start thinking more about my backgrounds to where it's not just like, here's my dirty laundry. Here's a whole bunch of recycling that I need to break down and take out. I don't know. Like, I'm literally showing you my dirty laundry. I'm that comfortable with you. Hey everybody, it is Tuesday? Yes, Tuesday the 20th. So this is why my week is so confusing. We are a weekly paper that comes out on Wednesdays. However, because of the Thanksgiving holiday every year, we come out a day early. And so much of my week is based on the deadlines that are required to get the paper out on Wednesday. And so when all of that's pushed up, I'm just really confused by my week in general. So what's happening right now is it's kind of Tuesday and Wednesday simultaneously for me because it's actually Tuesday, but it feels like Wednesday. But anyway, check this nonsense out. You remember that like pile of books that I had? It wrapped around all here. All of that is gone. I am cleansed of the unwanted books. And yeah, it feels good. It feels good. So that's pretty much the only accomplishment I've had today. I listened to another 4 or 5 hours of A Storm of Swords. And yeah, I'm just chipping away at that one. It is a long audiobook. I'm going to be listening to that over the next little bit because I am going to be making my Thanksgiving dinner. Thanksgiving is still 2 days away, but I have stuff going on all day tomorrow, and then I will probably end up staying at my mom's place tomorrow night. So it just makes more sense for me to cook ahead of time the stuff that I'm making because I end up cooking a lot. I cook small quantities of a lot of stuff because I'm the only one in the family that's vegan, so I have to make vegan versions of everything. Also read chapter 5 last night of The Poppy War. That chapter kind of throws a major curveball at you. It deals with some stuff that I wasn't expecting to deal with in this story and just kind of does so rather casually. I imagine it's gonna play out later in the book, but it just happens. Like, you just deal with the fact that she makes this really life-altering decision instantly. I mean, she just does. And I don't necessarily think it's the wrong decision. I just think it wasn't a very weighted decision. She just kind of decides to do it. So that was interesting. I've done a little bit more research on it because I felt like there was more going on than I was grasping. So I think what it actually pulls from the most is the Second Sino-Japanese War, which melds into World War II. I don't know a lot about this. I did a little bit of research once I figured that out. In that war is some pretty terrible stuff, like massacres, mass rapes, just not great stuff. So not really the lighthearted read that I probably needed after Lolita. I knew it was supposed to be like a heavy book. I knew it wasn't going to be just super gleeful and happy to get through, but I didn't really realize it was going to be that hardcore at the end. But if after I'm done with the book and I want to get like really depressed, then I'll go and read the actual history that took place surrounding that war and the Japanese invasions and all of the horrible things that occurred. So I have that to look forward to.
Hey everybody, it is Wednesday now, 4 in the morning, and I woke up and couldn't get back to sleep, so I'm gonna bake a pie, because I haven't made myself a pumpkin pie yet for Thanksgiving, and I wasn't really sure when I was gonna do that anyway, so I guess it was fortuitous that this occurred, and I couldn't get back to sleep. I did want to update you a little bit. I'm whispering because my roommate's asleep. Toothless isn't asleep though. He is very curious as to why I'm up at this hour. I read another 50, maybe, no, 65 pages of Poppy War before I went to bed, and I am really enjoying it. He's very needy. Come here.
Here he is.
deals with some of the teachers a little bit more, and really kind of establishes her mentor, which is great. He's great. Everything's great about it. I'm really enjoying it. This is probably the funnest bit of the book, and there were several very just standout comedic moments. The mentor that she takes on is absolutely just a delight. He's just a beautifully written character. You can tell it's kind of a great balance of quirky but super good at his craft. And yeah, I read that last night. I may read a little bit of that this morning. Ooh, it's 4 in the morning, y'all. That's Buffy hanging out there with a weeping angel. No, that's Willow. I don't even know my own miniatures. Where's Buffy? Buffy's here, I think. That's Buffy. Say hi, Buffy. Buffy's a little dusty. I'll put you back. And then I also have, Xena. She's hanging up there. Wow, words. But anyway, that's where I am. I'm gonna go and bake a pie. And, coffee. I'm gonna coffee real good. So a bit of a change of plans. I didn't make any pies. I made the filling, but then I pulled out my pie crust and it was bad. It was not good pie crust. So I am unfortunately unable to buy pie crust at 4 in the morning where I live. So that just got put in the fridge and I did other stuff instead. I briefly contemplated making pie crust from scratch, but that just seemed like way too much work. And instead I read some and I got some odd jobs around the house. But you should be very proud of me considering the state this was in at the beginning of my video. But look at that. Look at all, look. It's all clean. There's no more recycling. There's no more piles of towels. Look over here, guys. Look. You can see the books on my bookshelf. This is an amazing thing that has happened this morning. So I got that much done. And then, like I said, I did read a little bit. Got the Poppy War over here. I do have the dust jacket back on. Just so you can see its pretty cover. And now it's sliding off. Whoa, look at that sun. Wow. I got some lens flare action going on. Bam. So I'm on page 220. I'm done with the first part. I feel like we have to address the elephant in the room. This book is a bit like Harry Potter. Not dramatically so. It is definitely more adult. But you deal with the idea of a bunch of kids going to this school, receiving, training for a very specific field. And you have your really mean teachers and you have your really quirky teachers. However, I don't think, based on how this story is progressing, that we're going to stay at the academy much longer. Their country's on the cusp of war. It's made very clear that if war were to absolutely break out, there would be dire consequences with the academy because a lot of the people who are at the academy would be pulled away to go and deal with the war. Don't think that they're going to stay at the academy for the entirety of the book, so it will differ from Harry Potter on that front. I've got to go to work because that's still a thing I got to do today. But yeah, I'll go to work and then on my way home I'm going to buy some pie crusts that hopefully aren't covered in mold. That would be my preference. Hey guys, give me pie. They look a little questionable right now, but after they've chilled, maybe they'll be delicious. I'm not sure. I haven't made a pumpkin pie ever, or if I have, it's been way too long. And I certainly haven't made a vegan pumpkin pie before, so this is an experiment. But yeah, one of them I almost dropped trying to get out of the oven.
So already I'm doing great. But anyway, I am about to pack up and load out to go to my mom's. I got some board games to take to play during Thanksgiving. I'm also a big board gamer. You've probably seen some in the background because I do a terrible job like selecting backgrounds that aren't just messy, probably because I don't have any of those. But yeah, I'm gonna spend the night at my mom's tonight, so I'm not sure how much reading I'm gonna get done over the next couple of days. I will check in as soon as some more reading occurs. But right now I'm just still listening to A Storm of Swords. That's the one I'm on. And yeah, I think this is my favorite one. This has a lot of my favorite bits in it. Other than that, I haven't done any reading, so I don't really have anything else to touch base on. But I just wanted to prove to you that I made pies, and I will then eat said pies. Hey everybody, it's Friday now. Some date of the month, and yeah, it's getting kind of late in the evening. Got about 100 pages more into the Poppy War, and I'm really liking this. My only concern is that there's been a lot of ancillary characters introduced, and I am one of those people that really want all of the characters that I spend time with to be purposeful and have a reason to exist within the story. However, I did confirm that this is part of a series, so this is the first book of a series. So hopefully, if not in this book, then in future books, a lot of those characters will return, and you'll have more development from them. So that's really my only concern at this moment. So far, a lot of the concerns that I've had from the beginning of the book have been addressed to some degree. So I have about 200 pages left of this. Tomorrow, I think I don't have anything tomorrow. So tomorrow I am going to focus on reading as much as possible. I definitely want to have this book finished. I think after Poppy War, I will probably pick up Gemina, which is the second book in the Illuminae Files trilogy. My roommate just pulled into the driveway. I just heard her vehicle. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end here, and I'll probably visit with her a little bit when she gets in, and then I'll do that reading thing that I do sometimes, and I'll check back with you guys tomorrow. Hey everybody, it's Saturday now, and I haven't read anything at all, and that was disappointing to say the least, because I had all these best intentions, but I didn't sleep well last night. I'm kind of in that weird in-between where I'm not tired enough to like lay down and take a nap, but I'm too tired to focus in on reading, so I've just been watching YouTube videos and playing Minesweeper. So that's been my morning, but I think I'm going to go ahead and reheat me some Thanksgiving leftovers and have dinner, and hopefully that will give me some energy. And then I only have 100 pages left in the Poppy War, so I'm going to sit down and read that and finish that today at least. That's my only like objective for the day. I got to the horrible bits. Oh man, I got to the horrible bits of this book. Wow, I had been warned about part 3, but part 3 is... Ooh, this is rough. This is real rough. I actually kind of want to throw up reading this. It's not... Oh, okay. I'm on page 424. Okay, so yeah, finished the Poppy War. There was parts in that last section that were brutal to get through. It was like at the front end of the last part, just be aware that you have to be in the mindset to deal with some horribly graphic things. And yeah, it's like only a few pages, but it took a lot to get through. Overall, I really liked the read. I'm really interested to see where the series goes. I had some issues with it. I usually do. I feel like there's some characters that haven't been fully developed, and I expect them to return, even though there are things that happen in this book that would make you assume that they wouldn't return. But I expect several of those characters to play a role in later books, so hopefully I'm right there, because otherwise I feel like they just didn't really serve their purpose properly. It was really interesting. It's really not a glorified story of we're the good guys facing the bad guys. I like that. As horrendous as the enemy is, it is also recognized that what our main characters are doing is also absolutely horrendous. They are horrible people too for the actions that they are doing. Other than that, there's not a lot I can say that isn't super spoilery. It did a few things that I really respected, that it handled things a certain way, especially the relationships between the different characters and how they never really, even though there was hints at attractions, they never really focused in on anything to deal with romantic relationships because the war overshadowed all of that always. Anyway, I'm gonna end the vlog here. That's it. It's just over. No, there's no witty lines or we're done talking now. Next week, more books.